We are going to be getting into some stocks. We got to be looking. Tomorrow is Monday. Tomorrow is going to be one of the more wild days. I could be wrong, but tomorrow might be one of the more wild days in the market that we've seen in quite some time. So I don't know about you guys. I'm going to be buckled up. I need the over the shoulder buckle up for tomorrow because it's about to get wild. Okay. We got to do some research. We got to be chatting. We're going to be checking the stocks. This is, do you ever sleep? You always online. So here's the thing. That's a good question. I do sleep. I had a great night's sleep because I did the sauna last night. I didn't go live all week because I was at a marketing conference and doing business the whole week, and I was in Denver, out of town, and my hotel also didn't have great internet for whatever reason. So because I didn't go live for, I think, 5 or 6 days straight, yesterday I did 2 lives. Today I'm doing 1 live. So that answers your question. But I am always working and always making things happen. And I was trying to reach my goal. So last night I hit 25,000 followers, and I was making sure, like, getting lives and real active to make sure I reach my goal. And I reached my goal. So thank you so much, guys, because I can't do it without you. Just that simple. I have a cat upstairs freaking out. Hopefully it's not too loud. Maybe you'll come visit our live. I was looking at Poet last night, ticker POET, P-O-E-T. That thing's been getting killed. Let's see if we can find some, do a little research here and find some US-based. Let me hop on the laptop even. I got the laptop here. I got 2 computers here just for you guys, okay? We're going 2 angles here to try to find the stocks that we need to be looking at. Let's see, not a new project. Let's go here. Let's do a little quick research. Let's see, rare earth mineral. Traded in the U.S. stock markets. Okay, guys, I'm trying to find some new stocks for us. If you have time, we talked about Ferrari last night. I don't know if you guys watch any of the car vloggers and other things. I think Ferrari is starting to lose a little bit of its edge. I think it was the SF90, and people were not as happy with that. And a lot of times Ferrari created this game similar to Rolex, where it's like supply and demand for these watches and these cars and these luxury items, kind of like a Birkin, right? Birkin bag for the ladies out there. And I think it's kind of lost its luster. Like, people buy the Ferrari and think, oh, now if I hold it for a little bit, I can sell it, make hundreds of thousands. And then a few people got cooked on that. So it's a little bit interesting. What about notable US listed? Let's look at MP. So MP's been pretty ripping lately. MP stock, waiting for someone. Which stock should be avoided next week? Okay, so what I would be avoiding, what I would personally not buy. I can't tell you what you should do because we all have different financial situations, obviously. Anything that's really like risky, I would be real careful. Now, these things, because I feel like a lot of these are going to tank as if people are taking money out of the market. So, like, I'm in a few risky stocks, BURU, YYAI. What I think today that I'm going to go into next week and buy those, it's too risky for me. I don't need the risk. Now, some of you, I'm older than a lot of people on here, so I don't need to take that risk anymore, right? But some people love risk and they're going to do that. So me personally, some of these, if I'm going to buy anything next week, it's going to be stable stocks that I have long-term. For example, something like SoFi. I'm building my position in SoFi. I plan on holding SoFi for many years. So as SoFi continues to dip, see, SoFi, I started buying because it got into the 25s, 26s, then it started getting back up in the 28s, right? 2 weeks ago, it hit 30. So this is when the market goes down like this, you can look at it 2 ways. You can freak out. You can say, oh my God, my portfolio, my life is over, my life savings is over. Or you can look at it as a buying opportunity for quality companies that you want to hold for the long term. Okay, that's what I'm doing. Or what you can do is you can look at maybe some quick trades. Now, here's the thing. People think that they always can catch the bottom of these things. Nobody knows when it's going to actually bottom out. So you think, oh, this stock got beat up, it's going to come down and then skyrocket up. I can make 10, 20% like this, which you might if you can catch the bottom. But like they say, you can never try to catch a falling knife. Not easy. Let's look at some stocks. So MP Materials is one. I don't know, some of these are going to continue to rip. If we could have talked about some of these rare earth materials 2 months ago, 3 months ago, we'd all be sitting in Cabo relaxing because we could have just crushed it. So sad I ever touched options down 20K from 36. Yeah, guys, options is a tough buy or a tough situation, by the way. Like, you have to be so right with options. What's your thought on, let's see, Burr got me $800 loss. Well, you haven't got the loss unless you sold it. So hoping for a better week next week. Remember, Tenzi, when I tell you guys that I'm buying this stock and it's going to be super risky, it could go to zero. Like, I'm not playing. When I say there's certain stocks that I'm like, don't buy, I literally tell people don't buy this stock because I do, but I'm documenting my journey. It's going to be a wild ride. I got that thing on a Friday at like 28 cents and it went up to like 70 cents. So I pretty much could have tripled my money, but I'm going to hold it a little bit longer. So now it went down a little bit, but I think it could go up. But then we go into this kind of situation where the market gets tanked and you can get screwed. How do you think the market will open Monday? At first on Monday, I thought the market was going to look good. Now, I made a video and I talked about how Trump kind of took back a little bit about meeting with China's president. And he did in this interview. He's like, wow, in True Social, he says, nope, everything's canceled. And then in the interview, he says, well, we're both going to be it's a meeting in South Korea. We're both going to be at this meeting at South Korea. I guess we'll probably meet. One of these kind of things. And he's known for this. I get worried sometime about his posts, the social intelligence and being able to be calm in situations, even though when you're fired up, you just don't get online and start ripping off certain things. That's the problem that we have here. And this is the situation we're in. So I thought it would be better. Now, here's the thing. Obviously, the markets are closed right now. In a different sector, we have cryptocurrencies. And I thought the cryptos would be coming back. As of right now, well, they're coming back a little bit right now. And that could be a good sign that money is coming back into the market a little bit. We're going to have to wait and see on that. By the way, that's my cat, Lord Butler, and he's trying to make a guest appearance with you guys, you see? His nickname is Boots, because see, he has white feet, so his nickname is Boots, because he's wearing boots. And he just made an appearance. Okay, cat, let's not knock anything over. All right, so he wants to sit here with us and have coffee and talk stocks. Yes, that's Lord Butler, a.k.a. Boots. And he's trying not to see. Look how good he is. He's trying not to be in the camera. Boots says hi back to everybody. Follow S&P Futures tomorrow? Yeah, for sure. You know, it's going to be an interesting day tomorrow. I don't plan. This is the thing. We can trade tomorrow. We can buy stuff. And it's just going to be a very risky situation. It depends on your risk assessment and how much risk you want to take. Okay, Kat, you already got food. So that's going to be the tough one. I hope it soars tomorrow. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Okay, so let's talk real Rusty, right? Real Rusty says, I hope it soars tomorrow. If the market soars, okay, we're going to be back. We're going to look at our accounts. We're going to feel all good inside because we're going to say, oh, look at my account. My account's come back some. It could tank for a few more days. And this is the problem. If you have money on the sidelines, and it tanks a few more days, you can get in a lot of these really good companies. That's what people did in April, and that's how people made a lot of money from it. April, the stocks went way down. People's like, man, I'm buying some of these key companies, right? And then we see what happened over the last 6 months. I mean, if you bought anytime in April, May, June, you're probably looking pretty good right now, okay? Let's see. Powell speaks Tuesday, be cautious. Yeah, so we got that. Did you see XRP coming out with credit card? I'm just not into crypto. It's not my forte. I do have my friend, Mikhail. We did a live together on here, and we're going to start doing more lives. I shared one of his videos. He loves talking about crypto. If you want to know about crypto, you can check my stories. He's very knowledgeable on it. I don't like to know much about it, so I don't like to speak too much about it. Let's see, good stocks to purchase tomorrow with low capital. Do day trading. I very rarely day trade. It's just not my thing. I don't need a day trade. I do have money set aside that I will get in and out of stocks. And one of the reasons why I go live on this platform, one of the reasons why I reply to all my messages, one of the reasons why I reply to all my comments is I get tons of stock tips. And that's why we're here building this community, because we're sharing so many investing ideas. And that's what happened. So Schmack just gave me a follow. And by the way, if you're one of the 147 here, let's go ahead and follow. We got like the best investing community here. Thank you so much for that. Let's see, let's throw some stock tickers that what we're gonna look in. Go ahead and throw those in the chat real quick. And we're gonna go ahead and see what we're gonna start bringing up here and getting some investing ideas. You guys can write these down. I'm trying to get the transcript from these lives so you can go back, because sometimes you come in late and we already talked about a million things. Okay, so we're looking at CRML, ticker CRML. This thing, even this little known Trump stock, is up 120%. Critical Metals Corp. This thing has been, wow, you could have bought this for $1.47 in June, up 10x. Now, here's the thing with some of these mineral stocks. Do we want to go all in on the minerals and mining? They've already mostly 10x'd. You know, we don't know how long it's going to take them to, we're looking at CRML. We don't know how long it's going to take them to, some of these might be speculative as far as they don't have a lot of revenue yet, a lot of profits yet. Although the idea is in the future, we're buying in the future. So now we're paying a premium at this point, possibly for some of these stocks, which is, it starts getting risky in itself. So we have to look into that. QUBT, but critical metals definitely looks interesting. Quantum computing, yeah, all these quantum computing stocks, there's a lot of chatter. AI, quantum computing, especially, you know, there's so much money has gone into these things. Like this stock that you said, QUBT is up 2,500%. Okay, it now has a $4.26 billion market cap. We have to somewhat be careful with some of these stocks because there's so much hype behind them, and I feel like there's so much money going in this without all of us making money yet. In the long term, it's probably going to be great. I mean, if you could have got this thing at 67 cents, you're looking super pretty. You know, it's hard to evaluate and start evaluating these things because, you know, you're basically evaluating what could happen in the future. And none of us has a crystal ball to evaluate what's going to happen in the future. And, you know, is this thing going to do well? Quantum computing, and this is what's going to start happening. I'm looking at the news. Quantum computing files to sell 37.18 million shares of common stock for holders. So what happens is, as these things start going up, the company realizes, hey, we gotta capitalize on this. We gotta sell some more shares. Okay, so we gotta be careful, right? Bought QBTS 676.73, sold 1,000, everything 35, looking for pullback. Wow, Burrow to 2. We'll see. You know, we want to, as excited as we get about these stocks, I think we also need to be somewhat cautious. And then depending on your level of risk, you can fit in these different buckets, right? So we can look at a lot of these stocks, and some of them for me, I'm like, hey, maybe I want I think I talked about like a quantum computing ETF. If you really want to get into the quantum computing space, if you really believe in it, but you want less risk, you can get in an ETF that's going to be a basket of these stocks. Marvell Technology, this thing has been just a freaking rocket. We've talked about this a few times before. It's been hurt a little bit and it's coming back. Let's see what's going on with this one. Marvell Technology, what do you got? Do you guys know about this one? Motley Fool plays both sides of every stock. I don't know if you've noticed this. You know, they'll have an article about why this stock is going to tank, and then the next day it's going to be like why you should maybe look at this stock. While NVIDIA leads, this lesser-known AI stock could catch up. Marvell enjoys significant revenue visibility with 18 design wins and over 50 projects in development. Where are we going with all these data centers? AI data centers to surpass 1 trillion by 2029. I'm in on the 2X on Marvel. You guys are wild here. Let me check on some of the comments. GameStop is the idiosyncratic risk of entire market proven January 21. Everyone now. Yeah. What new sites using? So I usually use a mix of sites. You use Yahoo Finance, Google, Seeking Alpha. Sometimes I'll get AI to pull up all the recent articles. I also, you know, people send me articles. I try to respond to everything, but it's a lot of messages sometimes. Are there any penny stocks you're interested in? Yeah, so the penny stocks I'm looking at or I've recently invested in is YYAI, super risky. Like, don't buy this. BURU, super risky. Maybe not as risky as YYAI. Super risky, don't buy it. I have under $5. There's another one, Village Farms International, ticker VFF, that I invested in. Although now the farming and whatnot might be cooked, but we're going to see. I try not to buy too many penny stocks. I don't really need to. The penny stocks I get in and out of. Most of the penny stocks under $5, I'm getting in stuff that's trending. So if you watch my videos, you'll see, okay, guys, look, this is trending. Let's hop in. We're going to hop in and hop out. And the reason being is a lot of stocks, they just get hyped up. You know, we have social media now is the ultimate hype center. You know, we didn't have social media hype for stocks 10, 20 years ago. So what happens is there's all this retail money coming into some of these. I usually get in to some of these maybe a few percentage points late, and I definitely get out way too early. And I'm fine with that, because if I can make 20, 30, 40% in a week, in 2 days, that's what I do, right? That's what I'm going to do with the stocks. Then what happens is I still take that chunk of money, and then I take that chunk of money and I'll put it into either dividend paying stocks as I'm building up my passive income portfolio, or into something like SoFi or United Health or more established companies. So then I keep taking that. I'm stoked at 10%. That's what I'm saying. I think you just started following me, Schmack. We get in these stocks and it's like every day, every couple of days, we're finding something, and it's like a quick 10, 20% in and out, in and out. Now, I say don't buy them because I do, because these are risky. This is only money that 100% I can lose to buy these stocks. We've just done really well. What about those 11 dividend stocks you provided? Why those? Some stocks I have just no rhyme or reason, right? We all have different reasons why we get into certain stocks. And some of my stocks are ETFs, covered call ETFs that pay the dividends. As you start getting older, you start really appreciating getting dividends, okay? And my goal is to live off of dividends. So passively. And you can start checking the boxes off as your dividend income starts going up, and you can start checking it off. Now, a lot of people said, well, you can be in the growth stocks, and yeah, you can be in growth stocks and start selling some of your positions. I like to not have to sell my positions and just make money. And dividend stocks are generally proven. Either it's a stock or an ETF that does covered calls. I don't have time to do all the options trading and stuff. I get in some options here and there, but not often. Okay, I don't have time for it. I'm on this side as an entrepreneur. I have a lot of risk on this side. I don't need risk on this side as my life and business. This side is stocks, right? At some point, you want to manage how much risk you have in your life. So that way, if I had risk in entrepreneurship, I already have enough. If I had so much risk on the stock side, my life would literally be crazy and none of this would be worth it. Okay, you want to be minty in life and enjoy it. The dividend stocks, what dividend stocks do you recommend? I don't recommend stocks, but I can tell you what stocks I own. Getting in UNH, I think, is a good one right now for getting us good dividend and with price appreciation. SCHD is an ETF that I've had for a while that pays a pretty good dividend that continues to grow, but its share price has not moved for 2 years, which is frustrating. I think right now is a good time to get into real estate investment trusts. Ticker Realty Income is a really good one. We have ticker VICI. That's another really good one that I like. And if a riskier play, because some of you guys like risk, do your research, is Medical Properties Trust, ticker MPW. You sell hair products? Yes, I do. Been in the hair industry for 11 years. You can Google my name, Mikey Moran. You can see my whole life, like all the stuff I've done. I've spent plenty of time on TV through my entrepreneurship career, TV, magazines, newspapers, probably been about everything. I mean, I'm back in the TV days. If you're a little bit older, and CNBC, like before Shark Tank, if you know Donnie Deutsch, The Big Idea on CNBC, like I was on that show. Been doing a lot over the years. Failed plenty. That's why I want to talk more about entrepreneurship on this, but I haven't got to it. I've just been talking about investing. So many people ask about ticker NAK. Oh my God. You guys love it. It's sometimes I get so many comments about one stock, I get worried about it because I'm like, is this just going to be 100% hype because so many people are talking about it? Or is this something that's actually going to be a legit company, but a lot of people love talking about ticker NAK. Now, I wish I bought NAK a month ago when people kept recommending it to me because I would be up 100%. That's kind of like the part. Failures, now that's a good live. Brandon, that's true. I actually think I'm going to record. I think I'm finally going to record my first entrepreneurship video for here because I'm going to start doing like one video every other day about entrepreneurship to help with people kind of down that journey. But for now, it's just been, my channel's been 100 about stocks, investing. NAC, I don't know, kind of almost turned off at NAC because there's so much hype behind it. Snowflake, ticker SNOW. This is what's crazy, guys. Now, if you've been investing for a while, you know how the stock market, how realistic things get and how unrealistic things get. We do these lives, I get a lot of stock tickers, and what concerns me as an investor, and I've been investing for over 30 years. I didn't invest well for 30 years, but I've been doing it for 30 years and following the market. So many of these stock tickers we look up, it's up 100% in just the last year, 100%, 300%, 500%, 1,000%. Like, I don't know if we're living in a real world or is this a video game of investing right now, because this is kind of crazy, all right? Snowflake's been hot for a while. We've talked about Snowflake before. They have some insider trading, it looks like, insider sales, which I'm always careful about. Snowflake's EVP product management sells 1.25 million in stock. That's always, now that could be something where they just need money, they're buying a house, something like that. Or they said, hey, this stock has run up so much, let me cash out a little bit. And that could be the case, guys. So I always get a little bit concerned when we see insider selling. Now, insider buying, I love, right? Like Open Door, which we should talk a little bit about Open Door. Anybody in Open Door stock in the room here? Let me see. Anybody in Open Door right now? Let me know. Just let me know in the comments. I'm going to take a sip of coffee, right? Open Door. If you're one of the 117, if you're not following, what are we even doing? This is the community that you need to be part of. My name is Mikey. I'm an entrepreneur in Atlanta, Georgia. I've been an entrepreneur for 20 years, been investing for 30 years. I'm just a 49-year-old guy trying to make it and meet people around the world to talk about stocks. And I do enjoy a great coffee. Okay, so Open Door, right? As you guys probably know, if you haven't bought Open, or if you're not holding Open Door, you've probably heard about it. We talked about it a lot on this channel. The talk about Open Door, the chatter, I like to call it, the chatter about Open Door stock, Open Door Technologies, ticker OPEN, it's really calmed down, right? It's really calmed down. And this is what I'm talking about. And we can learn from this, right? 2.5, 3 months ago when Open Door was rocketing, everyone was talking about Open Door. The news, the amount of news for Open Door, every news outlet was writing multiple articles about Open Door every single day. Now, here's the thing. It's been a little bit quiet for Open Door, and the stock slowly has also been going down, right? So what could happen with that is sometimes these things are getting propped up by just hype, right? So you ride the hype up, like Brandon said right there, ride the hype, exactly. Ride the hype up, and then you might want to get out before it starts calming down. But this might end up being a good company because they have a new CEO and other good things going for it. But that doesn't always mean that because it hyped up to here, that it's worth anything close to here. I mean, really, they've hired new people, they've done stuff. The future, maybe in 2026, they can start releasing some good products and other things, right? They're going to move fast. They have Shopify's, who was he? The COO. They have the CEO of Shopify. Shopify is a GOAT for online stuff, right? I've been using Shopify for years. It's going to take time for Open Door to start making money so their evaluation looks good and starts catching up to the stock price. But we can say that Open Door is going to have their financial results on November 6th. So we're about 3.5 or so weeks. I will definitely be live during the Open Door call, and we will have the live call here on the live. I'll put that on my calendar because I know there's a lot of people that follow me that we've talked about Open Door for a while. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens with it, you know. Open Door, VF Corp, Ralph Lauren, EW, and Fubu TV stocks trade down. And this is the thing, when you have a downturn like we did on Friday, stocks like Open Door, kind of meme-ish stocks, I'm not trying to offend anyone calling it a meme stock, meme-ish stocks get crushed. They just get wiped out. Look at the altcoins in crypto, 50%. There's so many tweets. I'm not on Twitter. I don't have time for all these social channels. There's so many people on Twitter that were like triple leveraged, quadruple leveraged on crypto in altcoins, and their whole portfolio, because it dropped 50%, a lot of these altcoins, everything is gone. They're cooked. They're down back to zero. They're done. I mean, that's a crazy time, okay? The housing market is garbage right now. It is. It took me, I sold one of my properties. It took me a year to sell my property. I probably should have sold it to Open Door in the beginning. I probably could have got out of it and stopped paying all the taxes and everything. Yeah, all gone. I mean, you can see there's a lot of stuff, green or red tomorrow. Jamal, man, that's a good question. Nobody knows, but we're definitely going to be looking at it. Grateful to still be up 40%. That's fantastic. Have 2 spec houses on the market now. Yeah, the houses right now, real estate is probably real estate's where I have, the value of my companies, real estate, and then investing. And I've been buying real estate, a lot of it since 2018. I'm telling you, real estate's all about when you buy, right? You buy in a buyer's market and you sell in a seller's market. If you have to do real estate anytime in between, it's just not fun, guys. Real estate is not fun. Buddy lost 100K, 5 million leverage trade. Yeah. I mean, people getting in these leveraged memes is crazy. Some people are young enough, and right, if I was in my early 20s and I got wiped out from these meme stocks and I was risking it all, I could afford it in my 20s. I can't right now. That's why I don't say, oh, is this a good buy or not? I can only talk about what's good for me. You should never listen to anybody that says buy a stock on social media, because their risk tolerance, their portfolio, their everything is going to be different than yours, right? Very important to understand. BBAI, guys, BBAI is kind of in that meme stockish, category. Their earnings were horrible, and then somehow, I think they did get another contract. They were down in the 5s, BBAI. I remember I almost bought it. Let me see when that was. September 15th, it hit $5 after the earnings. And I said, man, I bet you this thing's going to rip a little bit, because it went down and everyone's so happy. Everyone keeps talking about BBAI. I can literally make money from stocks just by seeing my comments in this. And that's why everyone gets in these lives. And I think people are starting to realize it. When some of these stocks get beat up a little bit, you can get in these stocks and then they're just going to come back, because so many people have this conviction about it, whether it's a good company or not, and it's going to go up 10, 20%. It's a wild time right now. Wild time. Let me see. What other stock tickers are we looking at? BBAI 5 to 8 and back to 5. Yeah, it's probably going to go back to 5. I probably should put some puts on BBAI. I don't know. RR. Yeah, see, that's the thing. That, RR, I could have easily bought RR in, I think, probably the 3s when we first started talking about it on the live, and then all my comments on my channel. Actually in the 2s. And then this thing just took off to $6. Actually, it was as high as $7. Keep telling me what stocks are going to be next, because I'm telling you what, it's wild out here. We catch some of these things before they rocket. Should we go upstairs and get a little coffee break? Have you ever seen anything like this? I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen a time, the dot-com time, like if I used to follow stocks in 98, 99, it wasn't as easy to follow. With the internet was very different 25 years ago. I just watched CNBC, and you would have like the stock ticker go by. Like if you look in the late 90s, Qualcomm, you would see QCOM go by the stock ticker all day. And it was just wild back then. And it's just, I've never seen anything like this. How do you find the penny stocks? I just go into I do these lives, and then I have so many people that get in here, or my videos actually, most of my videos get 10, 20,000 views now, or in the comment section. And then people message me. The message is always, bro, you got to check out this stock. It's going to rip. And when I get a couple of those, and I'm like, maybe I should check this out, because if there's this much hype about it, whether the company is good or not, I don't even care, with my penny stock trades. It doesn't even matter because there's a reason why it's a penny stock. I already know for the most part, the stock is not great. The company, the fundamentals of the company, I don't even want to look at the fundamentals. I don't care if it has a PE ratio. I don't care if it pays a dividend. All I care about is this thing going to go up really quick. Yeah, that's right. It's fun money. But if I didn't have a base already built, I wouldn't be playing the penny stock and quick in and out stock game. Do you buy the more Magnificent Seven? Yeah, the Magnificent Seven this week. Amazon has been the laggard in the Magnificent Seven for the whole year, pretty much. Amazon, solid company, obviously, but yeah, Vegas. I mean, it's just like going to Vegas. I just do Vegas with my stocks now, and it is fun. And we talk about it, and I make the videos, and it's great. So, the Magnificent Seven. I don't buy any of those individually. If you guys want to look at SCHG, it's my favorite growth ETF. Ticker SCHG. I probably got beat up pretty bad. Not too bad Friday, down 3.35%. Over the last month, SCHG is even. I bought a ton of SCHG in the 24-25 range earlier in the year, and then this thing then it just went on a roar. It's an easy way to get into a lot of these. Ticker SCHG. It's the Schwab US Large Cap Growth ETF. And see, for me, I'm not trying to time Amazon. I'm not trying to time Broadcom. I'm not trying to time Meta. So the top 10 holdings of this, and I know I've talked about this before on the live, but I think it's just such a good, I don't want to say necessarily safe, but it's such a solid way to get into a lot of these companies. And if you don't want to have to look at your portfolio every day, you're like, hey, let me just let Schwab manage this. But I know the group of companies. So the top 10 holdings of ticker SCHG, you have NVIDIA, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Broadcom, Tesla, Meta, Google Class A, Google Class C, Eli Lilly, and probably under that is Visa. So if those stocks sound good to you, you can get into this, and you basically, stock market goes up or down, you're not really worried. You just let this thing get managed and you sleep better at night. Still holding Nuburu. Yep, I'm still holding the thing. I could have sold Nuburu. I could have made like 10 G's in like 3 or 4 days, which would have been awesome because I would have put that into some more stocks that pay dividends and such. I just have a feeling there's a meeting that people in Nuburu is going to be in, and there's a lot of hype. There's people saying, the company's crap. I think we might have another push for Nuburu if the market gets hot again. We're going to have to see. I made 30K on Buru. Yeah, I mean, people were making money on that, right? People were making money on that one. What do you think of Oracle? Oracle came out. I'm not a specialist on Oracle or any company by these means, but I know they said that their margins weren't as great as they thought they were. Oracle they're still probably in the talks about buying this platform. And I said that I need to buy at least a little bit of Oracle because I would like to be part owner of this platform that we're on right now. So that would be pretty interesting. But overall, I mean, if you bought it before, it ripped like 30% in a day, which is crazy. Hearing lots about potential AI bubble. See, now people are talking about the AI bubble. I've been talking about the AI bubble for a little while. I think we definitely are feeling kind of bubbly. Let me put it that way. If I just did a video about the AI bubble where this like image about how the money is kind of flowing around with the investments, and it's just a little interesting, guys. So just be careful, be able to get in and out of some of these if you have to. I'm thinking of buying crypto. This is a good time. I don't invest in crypto, but it's going to be, it got hit hard. So maybe it's a good time. Oracle was having a huge event in Vegas, AI, a few days ago. Oh man, did you go to that event? That would have been cool to see. My prediction for tomorrow is I have absolutely, money flowing circular. Yeah, that's Mark. That's it, right? Very sus, exactly. Okay, AILO. Which one is, I don't know if I've looked this one up before. AILO. Is it AILLO that you wanted me to look at? I don't know which stock we're looking at. Oh, the event was private. I gotcha. Yeah, that's interesting. AII. Sometimes you'll see me always wearing black shirts is because it's hard to see the comments that are in white right here. Did you say AIILO stock? I don't even see it. Are you talking about a Moran, Illinois company? I don't know this company, but it is paying a nice little dividend here. This must be like oil or something. Let's see. I think that's the one here. A Moran, Illinois company, ticker AILLO. On the OTC, we got to be careful with these OTC stocks, guys. Be very careful. Yeah, I don't know about this company. Do you know if GCU are usually on time completing their mining project? These mining projects, guys, it sound exciting right now, and there's definitely some good plays that we can look at. We got to be careful with them. Like I'm going to make some more videos about some more mining stocks because they're hot, but just got to be careful. What is OTC stock? So OTC is over the counter. Okay, so like they used to call them back in the day pink sheets. Okay, it used to be like OTCBB. So basically, if you're on the OTC, but you're public, you're not like on the New York Stock Exchange, you're not on the NASDAQ, it's generally a smaller, definitely probably a riskier trade. If you ever see, what's that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio? And it was, oh God, what's that movie when he was like the stock investor for that guy that ripped everyone off? What's that movie, guys? What's that movie? I know you guys know the movie. Leonardo DiCaprio, and it's about stocks, and it was with Steve Madden. Wall Street. No, not Wall Street. That wasn't Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah, Wolf of Wall Street. If you want to know about OTC, the over-the-counter or OTCBB, go watch Wolf of Wall Street, and you'll learn it real quick. And it's a freaking free-for-all wild place to be. That is the perfect way. You'll have fun and looking at it. Blackberry? I can't believe we're talking about Blackberry. I don't know about Blackberry, guys. I don't see how this thing, unless they got out of phones, because I just don't think, this is the problem with phones these days. I spend a lot of time in China because I work in China part of the year, right? I'm usually in China about a month a year. And I go around with my team over there, and we go into Huawei stores and some of the other stores with the Chinese phones. There's a reason these Chinese phones aren't here. These things are good for the money, really good. So anyone else trying to do phones right now, unless it was maybe like Tesla could have an advantage with the phones just because of Starlink, even though they're partnering with people. We got to be careful with the phones. So I don't know if BlackBerry's doing something other than phones, but I haven't been really following it. The stock, it's definitely up over the year, but I didn't even know really BlackBerry was around. Mikey, I've been following Mikey since start, made money listening to this man. Don't buy these stocks because I did, guys. I'm telling you, guys, don't do it. Yeah, the crystal ball. Guys, when I break out the crystal ball, what's up? SoFi. Guys, I'm super long on SoFi. It's probably one of the only companies right now I'm buying of individual companies and not ETFs. And the reason being is, I think this one at $26. My average price of SoFi, I was buying SoFi in the sixes, okay? And I'm still buying it. Still buying it. Nokia messes up in more than just phones, thoughts. A lot of these companies, you got to be real careful because they're trying to switch sectors. It's kind of like there's all this hype about Intel. We were talking about this yesterday on the live. What the hell was Intel doing for the last 20 years? And now all of a sudden it's all this hype on Intel, all this money going Intel. What have they been doing for 20 years, right? What have they been doing? 15 years? I don't know. AT&T, I actually used to own AT&T stock, and then it was not doing good. I don't know. I think I bought it for the dividend. It's maybe, I mean, this thing was like, if you bought AT&T, when was this? 5 year, let me do a 5 year on AT&T. AT&T, like in the teens, was actually pretty attractive. What stock are you most heavy on this week? If I was going to increase a position, and this is why you got to be careful, is because I have a plan for this year. I have goals of stocks. Does anyone set goals of like stocks? They say, okay, I really like this company long term. I need to have X amount by the end of the year. So one of those is SoFi, and I'm trying to close out my position of SoFi. I need 370 more shares of SoFi at this price, about 10 grand. So if I made 10 grand on Buru, ticker BURU, I probably would have just bought all the SoFi. It might keep going down. It might keep going up. I could have just closed out the position, and I'm just like this, okay? So what I like to do is pick my 5 stocks. So my 5 stocks that I'm buying, QQQI, I already reached my position. UNH, already reached my position for the year. SoFi, I'm not there yet. SCHG, which I talked about if you guys were on earlier. So I'm not done with that one yet. I need to buy more. That could be a good time if it dips back down for me to buy those. And then SCHD, which SCHD is a very conservative ETF play that pays a nice dividend. It's great if the whole quantum computing AI thing just tanks. SCHD, solid blue chip companies, pays dividends. We're going to be really good. Yes, write down your goals, 30-day and 90-day and yearly. I have a lot of goals that I set. I even set goals for TikTok about where I want to be on this platform. I said, I've been religious on this platform. I don't know when if you guys started following me, or even if you one of the 160 not even follow. What is going on here, guys? I'm on here a Sunday with you. I said, not even 3 months ago, I said 3 months ago, I'm going to post every day on TikTok multiple times a day, try to go live for 1 year and see what happens. So I'm going to create more content instead of consuming content. And yeah, it's been pretty crazy. It's pretty interesting. Carvana, people keep trying to compare Carvana and Open Door. The used car market, I don't think is in a good place. With the tariffs, so this is the thing, right? You have a lot of the used cars, they had a big inventory built. The value of those probably ended up going up a little bit because everything was getting tariffed coming in and more expensive. So that kind of gave Carvana a little bit more margin. Could you say them again, please? Which ones? I hate picking names. Are you still holding Open Door? Yeah, I have a little bit of Open Door, not a ton. But if Open Door continues to go down, I'll buy a little bit. I'm not going all in like I did when I bought the 10,000 shares initially. By the way, guys, we're going to go on a little tour because I'm going to make myself another coffee, but we're going to still chat. We're going to still keep chatting here. If you want to see behind the scenes in my little home studio, I can show you that. See that's a big light right there, by the way. You see how big that thing is? That's a big light. But that's kind of my setup right there. We're going to go upstairs and grab a cup of coffee together. I appreciate all the follows, good range goal ones. So my goals are going to be different than yours, but it's definitely going to be UNH. But see, I was buying UNH under 300. If that thing hit like 370, okay? So UNH, sorry, my coffee machine is really loud. This is the coffee machine. Always make good coffee. These rare earth minerals, oh God, it's making me empty the tray. You bought Burrow at 28? Yeah, see, if you bought BURU at 28 like me, you're in good shape. I was talking with someone and I almost doubled down on BURU when it went down to like 22 cents. I almost bought twice as many shares. Wow, I would have made I could have been up 10, 20 grand easy on Burrow. Try smoked butterscotch coffee. No. I drink I'll get out of the way so it's loud. I drink very plain coffee, like good quality beans. Friday stocks go down. I got Burrow at 16. Dang, you got it at 16? That's crazy. Mikey, you know that I know the therapeutics. Maybe just buy some because TikTok told me. That's always a fun stock to buy. People are like, how the hell? Sorry, that's the coffee getting ground. Got us some Copper Corp. I don't do target prices. I know people love target prices, but doing a target price for a stock for me, it doesn't even make sense. Going up next week. Can you send me the ticker, PYRY? Can you send me the ticker for that one again? It'll be on the top. My messages, the problem is, I know I messaged you back, but the messages, they get so many. TikTok has got me in so early on stock, just crazy. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Leon said it. The stock tickers we get on this and like in these lives or in the comments of my videos when I'll be like, all right, guys, what are we buying next week? Drop it in the comments. You guys won't believe it. Hyper, very promising. Oh, let's go check. Mikey, you wish her all the best. Bahrain. Okay, let me grab this coffee. Okay, guys, we're going back down to the studio here. Let's see. Love your videos. Oh, thank you so much. Sorry, guys, I can't watch the screen. I'm going downstairs. I just had to have another cup of coffee. I got to go walking soon. Got to put the 6 miles in. So one of the ways that I respond to everybody's comments is I try to walk 6 miles a day. And during the walk, I can just respond to comments by voice. Okay, sorry for the interruption. I definitely felt like it's Sunday. Sunday you're trying to enjoy some coffee. I don't mean to mess up my life, but you got to enjoy some coffee. Okay, guys, let's start writing down in the comments. Let's keep some of these stock tickers going that we're watching for next week. Let's just spam the comments right now. You got 3 things you need to do. You need to spam the comments with what tickers we're looking at. You need to hit the little button so the hearts. I'm not even at 10K yet with all these people in the room. And if you're over here and there's a plus sign right here, that means you're not even following me yet. What are you even doing? Okay. Let's get minty, guys. Let's get minty. So we got a few things to do. This. 30 to 40 miles a week. RZLV, okay, I was in RZLV. You can see my video from a couple months ago. I got in that thing under $3. Now, if you bought it, because I didn't tell you to buy it, you easily would have doubled your money. And that would have been, I would be happy for you. They just made an acquisition, SmartPay. I think RZLV, I might get back in. I'm going to say it here on the live. RZLV is back down to 513. It has a 52-week high of $8. I wish I had sold it at $8. If RZLV, let's check back with each other. If RZLV gets back into the fours, that might be a good re-entry point. Now, this is an AI heavy stock, all based on AI, but they do have a lot of contracts and their revenue's increasing very quickly. And that's what I love, because it's still speculative as far as an AI stock, but it's not so speculative where it has, some of these stocks that we're looking at, guys, has $1 billion market cap and has like $5 million in revenue. That doesn't make sense to me. Okay, so RZLV, we might be getting back in. I got lots of messages here. We're going to try to go through some of these. We're looking at Lithium Argentina, ticker LAR. I like Argentina. Let's see here. How old is this stock? Let's see here. Lithium Argentina. Do you guys know about LAR? 5 days, 1 month. Is this thing, did this just go public? Because I can only get like a 5-day chart here. Let me go to Yahoo Finance real quick. Let's see, year to date. Oh no, okay. The computer or something was messing up. Man, a lot of these stocks, guys, if we could have got in early, would be good. All these lithium stocks, a lot of this speculation, I'm going to be cautious. I might get in and out of these, but I'm still going to be cautious with some of these, okay? Let's see, what's the ticker? I don't know which one we're asking about. MP Materials, yeah. PRSO. Let's see, PRSO. Trying to go through the messages here. Peraso Inc. PRSO. 11 million. Okay, you guys want a risky one? I don't know. I'm going to tell you. PRSO. This is in the penny stock category. It's had a little bit of a good run over the last, actually it's had a great run in the last month, up probably about 100% or so. Upgraded to strong buy. What does it mean for the stock? What is this stock? Okay, guys, I might have to, let me write this one down. PRSO. Let's write down PRSO. This one looks highly speculative. PRSO. This one looks highly speculative. I'm going to do some more research on that. What else are we looking at? NAK, we talked about NAK a million times. Let's see. BURU, highly speculation, but I think there's some legs with Buru, okay? If they can somehow get a contract with the US government, this is going to be like a, oh my God, could you imagine? They're supposed to be in a meeting, a lot of talk about a meeting, defense meeting coming up. I think it's this week. If that happens, this thing could skyrocket, but it's all speculation. It's all very risky. I definitely would be careful about that. You know, Rich Tech Robotics, another tough one. The thing's had so much of a run up, and that Rich Tech Robotics is one of the stocks I was just talking about, where the market cap on this thing is now about $1 billion. But as of today, their revenue is $5 million, which means they're not making money. But it's one thing to make money. Well, people, this is the thing you got to remember too, guys. I want you to think about this. A lot of times people are like, well, Amazon didn't make money for 20 years. You know, this is fine. But Amazon also, during that time of not making money, had a lot of revenue, okay? So you have to have a lot of revenue before you, not necessarily a lot, but you got to have the revenue before you can make the profits. People buy companies because they're profitable, or in the future they think they're going to be profitable. What worries me about Rich Tech Robotics, RR, is it's $1 billion market cap with a $5 million in sales. I sell more than Rich Tech Robotics, okay, with my little company. So like, but I'm not worth $1 billion. Now, this probably has a chance of bigger future with, you know, contracts with McDonald's and other stuff. But at the same time, we got to be somewhat careful about the speculation on some of these, right? Now, I'm not saying lagging. I better not be lagging. I got fast internet over here. We got to be careful with some of these, okay? Because just the revenue and the profits, it doesn't matchup. I got long calls on RR next year. Maybe a long call, something could be good. USAR. Okay, so let's look at USAR. Feeling the same way about USAR. Okay, so USAR, 3 billion market cap. Oh, USA Rare Earth. Okay, so this is like a rare earth stock. You know, a lot of this stuff is honestly speculation at this point. So is it a good time to get in? You know, maybe if they get these contracts. I mean, they might backtrack. I don't know if China's going to backtrack on these rare earth stuff, but we need it at the same time. GPUs, yeah, we've talked about GPUs. QQQI, you know, you guys probably know I've talked about QQQI a lot. That is one, if you're looking for a good, solid, I don't know how, okay, so I built my position in QQQI. I just finished it on Friday. I posted a video about it. I'm done buying QQQI for the year. I think, and this is for people that like the dividend play, it's a high yielding dividend that doesn't seem to have any NAV erosion, which I like. I'm going to start building my next position. It's going to be SPYI, another high yielder that is solid as far as how the monthly payouts are. QQQI has been really good to me though. I think I'm going to now I have 200 shares. It pays about 62 cents a share. So I'm be making about $120, $125 a month passively from the stock. So what I do is I invest my money in QQQI. I forget about the money. I see the dividend payments say $120 a month. I take the $120 a month and I'll probably start building up my SPYI faster. Okay, so think about, that's what I like about that. That's, if you guys heard about like the dividend snowball, that's getting into what the dividend snowball is. SPYI looks pretty good to me. That's another one. That's the NEOS S&P 500 high income ETF. Yes, SHMAC, SPYI. That's another one. SPYI, QQQI are relatively, QQQI I think is newer than SPYI, but the dividends on those, or the distribution, sometimes people are like, it's not a dividend, it's a distribution. I get it. I just try to make things easy so we're all on the same page here, okay? Dividend distribution, I know the difference. I got it. But so that one I like because I'm trying to build up my passive income. Let's see, ONDS $15 to $15 next week. What? I don't know if ONDS is going to go up to $15 next week. It could. I'm not saying it won't, because these things, it definitely could, guys. SQQQ is market down. Yeah. Do you guys know about ticker? You can see, who was that in the comments? Amy. Oh, good old Amy. Let's see. Amy, where are you based? SQQQ. SQQQ. Let me know in the comments, guys, where are we all connecting from? I got 150 people from around the world. Let me know in the comments real quick where everybody is from. I would love to know where. It's also great. Oh, Virginia, Canada, Milwaukee. Yo, what's up, Mo Cooks? Big fan of BitF. Okay, Canada, Egypt. Oh man, I work with people in Egypt. Love Egypt. Miami, Australia. What up, Australia? I was in Australia earlier this year. Had an amazing trip. Morocco, South Carolina, Norway. Haven't been to Norway yet. Nigeria, awesome. I was supposed to do a trip to Nigeria, didn't make it. Russia, Morocco, Bulgaria. Look at this. This is what's so amazing. And this is what's great about being on here. Denver. I was just in Denver. I just got back from Denver Friday. I was all week in Denver on the 16th Street. If you know the 16th Street in Denver, Tijuana. That's awesome. That's the first place I went when I left the country for the first time as a kid. Israel, Kentucky. Man, you guys are all over the place. So here's the cool thing. When you have people from all over the world, what we're able to do is to come up with different stock ideas and do our own research and maybe have speculation on different things, long-term holds, short-term holds, and we can all come together with all this and have different opinions, right? Because sometimes when you're in the day-to-day of stuff, say here in America, somebody from another country might see something else differently because it's different there. So it's awesome. Kai went up from Singapore. That's awesome. Still haven't been to Singapore. So what SQQQ is, guys, it's the ProShares Ultra Short QQQ. So if you think the market's about to crash, right, technology, what you do is you can buy you buy the SQQQ stock. And what's great about this is you're not like doing a short position per se in a traditional sense, right? Where you're doing the short and it's going to go down. So if you think the market's going to crashola, you can get into the SQQQ, which is a risky play because we know the QQQ has been on an absolute tear, but this is a good way that you can short the market without technically shorting the market, if you know what I'm saying. Because the QQQ over the last year is up 18%, which is good. But on the 6 months, it's almost up 30%, which is wild. Okay? That's wild times out here. I'm telling you guys, the market's been crazy. Okay? It's been crazy. Let's see. What else are we looking at, guys? We got people all over the world here talking about some stocks. I got to get on my walk soon, okay? I got videos to make. I got to finish my coffee. Let me finish my coffee. Let's see. SOXL when market up. Yeah, SQQ. There's a couple different ways that we can do it as far as not traditionally shorting the market. Let's see. Guys, the YYAI, we're getting beat up a little bit. I got in a little early on YYAI, and I still think this one, there's still a lot of chatter about it. If it wasn't any chatter, I'd get more worried. Shorting the market risky is, yeah. Jake, you're right about that, right? That's why getting into some of these ETFs that do it for you is a lot easier. If Trump and the Chinese president meet, that will mean for stocks. They have to have a deal. They're going to end up meeting. I promise you, they're going to be in the same place. There's no way two of the biggest people of the world powers are going to be in the same place. They're going to be in South Korea, are not going to meet. There's no way. That's what I said about my video. That I said, he's backtracking a little bit. That Truth Social post was just like, I don't think he thought when he just put it out. It was a little aggressive, right? And you have to kind of sit back. This is what I always say, as a business owner, you get an email, you get a bad review, okay? I even wrote about it in where's my book? My book's back there. I'm not going to grab it. I even wrote about this in my book. If you get a bad review, something bad happens, the best thing to do is not to react. Don't be putting it on social media and everything else. The problem is this guy just gets so pissed off, and he'll put his initial emotional reaction on True Social, and it can ruin people's lives. Think about the crypto market. We talked about this. If you look on Twitter and search people lost money, people were triple leveraged, which is not a good idea anyway. On some of these altcoins, their entire portfolio was wiped out Friday. These guys are cooked. What is your book called? It's called Fearless Beauty. You can see it on Amazon. It's called Fearless Beauty. It's more for the beauty industry, but the first 4 chapters, I think I wrote for all entrepreneurs. If you read the first 4 chapters of if you want to be an entrepreneur, I think it's pretty awesome. So, I wrote that a few years ago during the pandy because I wasn't traveling. With my experience, so whenever I got 5 minutes, oh, really? YYAI, I don't know what's going to happen with this, okay? But if we could have a rip next week, some of these penny stocks can go wild, guys. Harry, I almost bought Krispy Kreme. We're talking about DNUT. I almost bought Krispy Kreme. There was definitely some interesting people buying Krispy Kreme, and I was like, what the hell is going on here? This one got hurt a little bit. It's still up for the month. I'm still, over the last 6 months, still beat up, still kind of meme-ish, but we're going to see. I don't have conviction on it for long-term, but it could be a good short-term trade. It's been crushed over the last 5 years. Maybe people are trying to get healthier. I don't know what's going on. Bull is already on a good earnings. Another one that I look at, guys, that I'm thinking about buying for my international people is, if you're international or travel to Asia a lot, you're going to know this stock. It's Grab, ticker GRAB, okay? So Grab has been fantastic company as far as delivery goes. I use it when I'm in Thailand, Vietnam, and it's back under the 6s. That might be one that I need. That might be the one that I buy a little bit of, just to start a small position, because I really like the stock. So we're going to have to see. What other stocks are we looking at, guys? We're 135 strong. Let's make sure, if you haven't already, let's hit the follow. Let's hit this. Harry, OUST. Let's look at OUST. Let's see. Ulster Inc. Harry, what do you like about this stock? Besides, it's up about 300% in the last year, which is freaking crazy. What do you like about this one? Not making money currently. Poised 19 billion. Smart infrastructure market. Oh, smart infrastructure. A lot of speculation. I guess we got to decide next, Nebius. We got to decide at what point we're going to get involved with some of these stocks. Chuck Hart's in the building, guys. What's up, Chuck Hart? If we could only tell the future. You ever think that? If you had a crystal ball and say, crystal ball, what's the future with all this quantum and AI? What are we doing here? I don't know. You know, is it too late? So many of these things up 300%, 1,000%. So much speculation. I guess it really comes down to what we're doing here as far as risk tolerance. RGTI is a wild one. Oh my God! When Chuck Hart comes in with a stock wreck, we're in trouble. Yeah, we're getting computing. That's definitely been a wild one for sure. Over the last year, up 5,000%. 5,000% in 1 year. Okay. The question is, has it run its course? Can it go up can it double from here? Then it would be up 10,000%. I don't know. Do you think SoFi is a buy or wait for the dip? Lynn, good question. So for me personally, I usually buy SoFi in 100 share blocks, and I'm just going to keep buying those 100 share blocks. Right now, I don't know if I have any extra cash in my account. I spent all my money. You guys made me spend all my money on all these crazy ass stocks. Okay, if I had the extra money, if I can make some money on some of my other ones and sell my short-term trades, I would definitely be buying SoFi. Hundreds at a time. I could transfer money in, but I got other stuff that I'm paying off on. I'm trying to pay down some real estate stuff. So it's kind of one of those things I'm trying to be careful. But I probably by Friday, I will be buying more SoFi because I basically buy stocks. I have money just automatically go on my account. That's the habit of investing that I've built. See this right here? That's called my habit of investing. So every Friday I buy stocks every single Friday, regardless of what the market's doing. And that's it. I watched your Linus Rare Earth. Can get your opinion on it. That one's an interesting one. I have some of that one, the Rare Earth. It hasn't done great yet, so I'm still holding it. I think it's undiscovered. It's not on all the trading platforms yet. So if this thing gets on more trading platforms, that makes it easier for people to buy. I think it could be an interesting play. Because of that video, some people reached out to me. My messages have been crazy lately of people reaching out to me. A stock I've always liked is NVIDIA. Been a holder since. No way. You had NVIDIA in 2015? That's wild. If you held NVIDIA since 2015, that's super strong because you think of how that thing has gone up and you're like, oh, it can't go up anymore, and you sell. Man, just holding some of those, it's kind of like my Tesla. Man, I bought Tesla in 2018, $30,000 worth. If I would have held that 30,000 would be like, let me see where Tesla is today. It'd probably be like 2.2 million today, which would have been crazy. What are you holding right now? I got a bunch of different positions. Some of the ETFs, SCHD, SCHG, QQQI, JEPI, a lot of dividend passive income stuff, JEPI, DIVO, if you know that one. DGRW is one that I never talk about. I don't know why I never talk about that. I haven't bought DGRW in a while. That's the Wisdom Tree U.S. Quality Dividend Growth Fund. That one's done well for me. I built my position in it. What I usually do is I'll build a position and I'll kind of leave it. I also love ETF a lot too. Yeah, ETFs are great, guys. It just makes investing a lot easier. I bought DGRW. I built my position in that. It's done okay. Still waiting for it to go up more. But the dividends are nice. Like just getting these dividends. Ticker DIVO. Devo has been another one. The 5-year on the DGRW, the 5 years at 70%. But then if you figure in the dividends from that, and if you're reinvesting the dividends, it increases a lot. So sometimes when you're looking at those, you have to look at the whole picture. JTAI, I'm scared to see JTAI. Let's see JTAI. JTAI. Jet.ai. I'm guessing, this is risky here, guys. If you want a risky one, let me add it to my risky list to look at. JTAI. This one is going to be super risky play, down 85% in the year. I don't know what. Successful closing an AI infrastructure acquisition corp. Close upsize on an IPO. What do you like about Jet.ai? JTAI. Other than, don't look at that chart. That thing is crazy. Let's see. PROK is right up your trading style. USOY. So let's see PROK. That Jet AI. Ooh. Let's see. Pro Kidney Corp. Okay, good market cap. Yeah, this thing has been tanked. Wow. You could have got this thing for 70 cents. That would have been nice just recently. Guys, there's so many stocks to look at. It's so crazy. I don't know how we can keep up with all this. TEM, once it comes down to stratosphere. See, who is this Diet Pepsi Lemon just putting, will you stop chatting with this one letter of the alphabet? Please, thank you. I don't want you to annoy everybody. HCM2, Acquisition Corp, HOND. A lot of people ask me about that one. It's going to be interesting to see. You know, some of these stocks that are up, this thing is up 88% this year, really in the last 6 months. I'm just cautious about these things. Anything that's up that much, is the market going to rebound tomorrow? What do you guys think? Let's do a quick poll. Is the market going to rebound tomorrow? Just do a yes or no. Yes or no. Market going to rebound? Let's know in the comments. Let's see what everyone's thoughts are right now. Yes, no, nope, nope. Is the market rebounding tomorrow? Yeah, a lot of yes, a lot of no, a lot of yes, a lot of no. We're pretty mixed here, guys. Yeah, tomorrow is a holiday, but the stock market is open. I know there's a lot of confusion about that, but the market is open tomorrow. The banks are closed tomorrow, okay? So we have a lot of yeses and a lot of nos. If it's a no, set up a TikTok live vote. The interesting thing about tomorrow, if the market continues to dip, this is the problem. A lot of people are like, if the market keeps dipping, just invest more in dollar cost average. Not everybody has the extra money on the side, right? Like my account, I don't have any extra cash in there. So I could move money over. I don't know if it would get in there on Monday because the banks are closed, but probably could. That's the thing. Not everybody right now has the money, but it could be a good time to dollar cost average on stocks. So that's why when people say, do you think I should buy this? I never say, oh, thank you so much for the heart. When someone says, you know, should I buy this? I never say you should buy anything because my situation is going to be a different situation. I'm maybe older, you're maybe younger, you're maybe older, I'm maybe younger. We don't know, guys. So I always like to say, be really careful about the different investing advice you see on social media. I know we can all take risks and such, or we get great ideas. That's amazing.